Check out my live show every Sunday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can check it out from my website, theintelhubradio.com.
Join me, Joe Joseph, John King, and A.C. Griffith, Thursdays and Sunday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern for Freedomlink Radio on the Intel Hub News Network.
A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and family. Now this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years, but the crazy part is he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties, a few years ago. In fact, Baronis called his work a dire prophecy. Now, this has nothing to do with the stock market, but it could have a huge impact on almost every aspect of your life. And recently, he created a video which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica8.com. Although this video may be offensive to some audiences, it's worth checking out. Again, that's www.endofamerica8.com. Watch this free video at www.endofamerica8.com. You are listening to the Intel Hub News Network, crushing the New World Order piece by piece.
Well, we're back, folks, and we're in the home stretch here. About 25 minutes to go to the end of the show. The number to call, 877-598-8549. That's 877-598-8549. And, Griff, it comes down to you and me, man. John had to go take care of some business. So I just kind of wanted to talk about how things are progressing and what people can do to prepare in the short time. And I kind of like the tack that you're on, thinking about the things that nobody thinks about. And one thing that people don't think about, and I can't stress this enough, because people quite often, they love their pets, but they don't think about preparing for them should the need arise. What are some things that they can do to prepare for their pets? Because I know you prepare quite well for your pets.
I spent quite a bit of time, many, many months, looking at that issue, at cat food and dog food. It's come down to this, in my mind. The final bottom line is you take what you can get right now, because things are happening. The Hill Science Diet said they would continue producing animal food as long as they can get the raw products. I thought that was very interesting, that comment. Many of the products are, well, all of the products are bid. They have to put out bids and buy great quantities and promise for so many months into the future to buy these products. And it's very competitive, evidently. There are many other companies actually all over the world bidding on the same products that go into animal food. And it's coming from different places. You know, you really don't know where the heck it came from. You really don't. You really don't. I don't care what the label says in today's world, you know. So some of the bags, the highest priced bag of cat food was prescription cat food, dry food. It's $67 a bag.
Good night.
Now, the average food for Hill and Iams and some of the others like that are considered by many a notch above, run about $30, $32 a bag. That's pretty outrageous. it will only go higher. It will only go higher.
Right.
They're inexpensive food. Diamond is another good company. They have 100 and some employees, and they're privately owned, I believe. All of the others are owned by large corporations, Procter & Gamble and such. But in my mind, it's coming down to you take what you can get right now. We've almost run out of the luxury of being able to pick and choose. If you don't have $32 for a bag, then you don't get it. At the same time, the same thing that you talked to Bob is happening in the animal food business. The bags are getting smaller. Some of the bags are the same length and width, but the depth is smaller. And they've gone from 20 pounds to 17.5 pounds. IM's at Walmart has gone from 20 pounds to 14.5 pounds at the same price. They're not changing the prices. They're changing the volume.
Right. In some aspects they are. In other aspects they're not. Like, for example, take a look at Breyer's ice cream. You don't get a half gallon of ice cream anymore.
Yeah.
You know? Go look at Tropicana orange juice. You don't get a half gallon of orange juice anymore. If you go into the cheese department, shredded cheese, you don't get a pound of cheese anymore in the bag. It just doesn't come that way.
By the way, the Tropicana train comes through Richmond, and it looks like maybe 500,000 cars on that train. It's the longest train I've ever seen in my life, with Tropicana written on the tanker cars with orange juice in it.
Wow.
A
I had no idea.
Train. Yeah, Tropicana train. And I wonder how often those tanker cars are cleaned out. I know in my heart that there's a potential problem looming in all of those cars with orange juice in them. You know?
Yeah.
So every time I see Tropicana on a car or in the store, I think of that. You know, maybe they're all like that. I don't know, but it is a minefield out here in the world today. A lot of people are not seeing it. They still have faith in brand names. Many of the brand names that you grew up with are owned by foreign companies and companies that you've never heard of before. You know, it's not what it used to be. You can't pick up a consumer's report and look for the name of the company and rely on good quality out of that company name anymore. It's just
right.
It's not there anymore. It's a different ball game. I would also put sugar away, and I would put salt away. I don't eat sugar. It's a non-nutrient, but a lot of people do eat sugar, and it's moderately priced, and salt is cheap.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have salt and ionized salt to sustain life, and it's not a bad thing to do. I'm bagging it in quart freezer bags with 3 bags, one inside of another, with salt and sugar written on the outside. What
about vitamin supplements?
That's another important one. Glad you mentioned that. Right now, pharmacies are having some trouble filling all of their prescriptions. They're not able to get all of the prescription drugs as they used to. That means, and the Alta report talked about a breakdown in the supply channels for drugs. Now, when that starts happening, you're going to see people that depend on Prozac and behavior-altering drugs without. And you're going to see more and more goofy people out there running up flagpoles and so on and committing crimes. You are.
No, I mean, you're right. Absolutely right.
Yeah. So vitamin pills, when nutrients start going down in your food supply and you can't buy the protein, the good stuff, then you're going to have going in the direction of bad health. And I would recommend everybody seriously look at the vitamin pills and stock up a couple to 3 years of vitamin pills. Go beyond the expiration date. The vitamin pills that you buy in the store, one a day, are marginal. There's a lot of different ways to make a vitamin or a mineral. Some are good, some are taken in by the body, and some are not. The typical pill that is good, is considered good, is like $35 a bottle for 90 pills. That's your good pills. Rule of thumb.
Right.
So you can see You can see the problem there with money, available money, and stocking. Just the vitamin pills. We've waited so long. We could have gotten that a couple of years ago a lot cheaper, but everything is going up. The availability is going down.
Right. Yeah. I had a doctor on the show not too long ago, and she was urging that people stick with the organic vitamins because you don't understand what byproducts and things that they're putting in there along with the vitamin, and that the absorption rate on vitamins that are bought at the store, over the counter at Walmart, what have you, are not as potent, and the absorption rate's bad. It's kind of like what you said.
That's right. That's right. Well, we're coming into a period now where we don't have too much choice.
But let me say this, Griff. Even if that's the case, if all you guys can afford is the vitamin, and that's what I can afford. I go to Walmart, I get vitamins, the whatever Nature's Best, or I go to Puritan Pride on the internet. But if that's all you can afford, it's still better than having nothing at all.
I would think so.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. Let me say this. I'm a firm believer of Super B complex. I think that's like the coolest vitamin known to man because it just gives you it gives me a boost. And believe me, around 12:30 in the afternoon, I've got one butt cheek dragging on the ground and one eye open. That midday, boy, I could really use a nooner type of thing, and that just picks it right up. And it could be totally mental, Griff, but I do notice a difference when I take vitamin B. And it's one of the major vitamins that you're supposed to make sure that you get a steady stream of. It helps with metabolism, it helps with your vascular system, that kind of stuff. But more importantly, is when if we do run into a scenario where food is at a premium, I mean, these vitamin pills in conjunction with carbohydrates like rice or something that you can store cheaply and in bulk can really be a lifesaver, don't you think?
Yeah, the rice is relatively cheap now. I would buy. Well, we're coming into another decision there with the rice. It was made in Louisiana and Arkansas and down in that area, but now you have the Gulf situation. I don't know if those rice fields have been contaminated. I would always buy the Louisiana, Arkansas rice over Indonesia rice because you don't know what you've got in the foreign rice. And now you really don't know what you've got in the Louisiana rice. If you wanted to make that meal interesting, you cut up Spam in little pieces and put the Spam meat in the rice, and it's very tasty. Very tasty. Spam will last a long time. If you've had Spam on the shelf in your kitchen for 3 or 4 years, it's still good, but I would start thinking about rotating it and get new Spam. Spam is a good meat. It's nothing wrong with Spam.
I have a very hard time with it, only because for 6 years, every morning for breakfast in the Navy, it was Spam.
I understand.
Oh man! So I mean, I really have to be hungry at this point. One of the fine things in the Navy, a quick story, is they used to have a rate in the Navy called steward, and the steward would be the person that assisted the cooks in, serving food, cleaning the tables, bussing them, doing whatever it was. Well, they did away with the steward rate, and unfortunately, that means that ships forced, if you're E5 or below, have to do 90 days rotation down on the mess decks, at least on the smaller ships. And one of the things that we used to get to do is open up the Spam cans. And if anybody's ever opened up a Spam can and shook that meat out of there, oh yeah, that's one of the more enjoyable experiences in your life, for sure. So I mean, I would really have to be hungry, Griff.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. When you get hungry enough, you will find it a very tasty meat.
Absolutely. I think I'd eat tree bark first. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. Another good thing is the spaghetti. A spaghetti